People provoke you to abandon, so that means to abandon you, right? The goal is to get you to abandon your gifts and talents. So they're trying to get. Not only do they provoke you to abandon you, but they also get you to try to abandon what's going on within you, right? And so if you think about this pic here with the abandoned building, someone made a decision somewhere on their journey, or some company made a decision somewhere on their journey that they were no longer going to contribute to the health and soundness of that building. I don't know. And it could have been that they decided to turn off all the water, the electricity as the first step. Well, that would be obvious because if no one is living in the building, then it should not be surfaced, right? But somewhere, someone decided that we're not going to paint the walls. We're not going to sweep the floor anymore. We're not going to wash the windows. We're not going to make it at least tidy and nice, just in case we want to sell the building. I mean, we could decide to sell the building. Let's keep the building nice. No, somebody or some company or some entity decided that they were no longer going to be a contributor to that particular building anymore. And therefore, time and chance, opportunity, seasons, rain, sleet, and snow, weather, natural disasters, anything you want to attach to how it now looks, attach as a contributor to how it now looks. This is the result of what abandoning looks like. When you abandon your gifts and talents, you deteriorate. It's like there's a scripture in the Bible when the tree branch is away from the vine or something like that. That once that tree branch falls to the ground, it begins the withering process. It'll start getting old. The leaves will start to become a different color or something like that. Some leaves will fall off. Okay, that's no different than your life. For those of you who are Christian, when you abandon your walk with God, you start looking so much differently, right? You don't have the same mindset. You don't have the same heart. Your heart grows bitter. How you deal with people is completely different. You are running away from God. When you look at your gifts and talents, if you're not working your gifts and talents in some kind of way every day or the majority of your walk, you're going to wither away. You'll see when you are operating in your gifts and talents, there's so much insight. There's some gleam in your eyes. There's patience and long suffering and passion. You can see it. You talk about it all the time. It's hard for you have people who always ask you, why you always got to talk about that, right? And so when a person is trying to get you to abandon, they abandon you somewhere. They have abandoned you, even if they're still in the house. They have abandoned you. They have abandoned you emotionally or psychologically or financially or something like that, right? But then preoccupying you with how they are abandoning you preoccupies you with now you starting the process of abandoning your gifts and talents. Because as soon as they attack you on your gifts and talents, you stop. They don't like the fact that you are doing it. So then they begin to prick at your heart. They begin to pull at you. They criticize you. They do all different types of things to try to get you to stop. And then somewhere you stopped because you're so busy wanting to please them. It's like you are afraid to walk in your gifts and talents. It's like you are it's like you have to apologize for it. The irony is the people who are trying to get you to abandon your gifts and talents, they feel free in doing whatever it is that makes them feel free. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are operating in their gifts and talents, and sometimes they are. It's like the husband who wants to be the leader of the house, and he is, and he's head of house, and he wants to thrive in whatever he's doing. But as soon as you decide that you want to have just a mere hobby, all of a sudden he gets upset. He doesn't want you to do it. I want you to be the mother. I want you to be my wife and the mother of our children and take care of the home, and that's it. And so the more that you do that, the more you find yourself kind of lessening in your abilities, your power, your passion, your heart, right? So let's look at two terms, jealousy and envy. There are two, and I think I heard this from someone, but I ended up having to interpret it for my understanding. So jealousy, I don't like the fact that you have this gift and talent, and my goal is to influence your process and affect your progress. Let me read that again. I don't like the fact that you have this gift and talent, and my goal is to influence your process and affect your progress. So the best way to understand that, say for instance, I tell you that I'm going to be writing this summer, right? And I'm a good writer, right? A great writer. And then you know that I'm writing, and you know when I'm writing because I ran my big mouth and told you when I was writing. And so instead of leaving me alone within that set block of time, you decide to come to the house and say, hey, let's just relax. Let's just watch some TV. But I'm telling you that I need 8 to 12 to write. I can meet with you at 1 p.m. to 5, but let me have 8 to 12. So that's affecting your process. That's influencing your process. And the more that person continues to come to your house and calls you and tries to distract you with all their life issues, right? It's going to affect your progress. You said that you wanted to write over the summer and you wanted to write a chapter at least once a month. Um, and now you're in the third month and you're still on the first chapter. That's affecting your progress. It's influencing your process, the writing process. You're writing a novel, or you're writing a script, or you are writing a self-help book. That takes time to think about how to arrange that, how to structure the characters, figure out what the theme is going to be, what the premise is going to be, what the characters are going to be. Okay, that's process. That's your writing process. But then if that person keeps coming along and you keep entertaining that person and tolerating their distraction, it's going to affect your progress. All right, so that's jealousy. Envy. I don't like the fact that you have this gift and talent, and my goal is to separate you from it, which will affect your long term progress, if any. So, separating you from it is trying to divide you from it. So instead of coming over to the house and sitting down and distracting me at the house, which influences my process, you decide to take me out of the house and we go to the club, or we go on a trip, or we do everything but the thing that I set out to do. So I'm separating you from it. If you see a person who is doing well in their business, okay, they are a business owner, whatever the business is, and then their friend is jealous, so they'll try to influence the process, try to distract them from the everyday administrative business day-to-day stuff that they need to pay attention to. Okay, so then the envy part of it would be them trying to separate them from it. Sometimes that's through violence, sometimes that's through throwing a man at them. You'll have family members who give you try to introduce you to a man who is destructive, who's very self-destructive. So then what happens is you get all preoccupied with that man. He becomes abusive because that's who he is. Uh, and instead of getting out of that relationship, you try to make it work. So that means you getting so far away from the thing that you started and you wanted to stay with and stick with, to the point that he kills you. So now he has perpetually separated you from your talent and gift. You're dead. It could be a person in jail or something like that. Now, in jail or in prison, you can pick back up that gift and talent. The problem is that you're in jail and in prison. But that's the difference in my understanding of jealousy and envy. One is to influence your process, whatever process is necessary. That's why you have to look at the process of anything you're trying to do. If you want to give a year to exercising, okay, okay. Sometimes leaning on someone as an accountability partner is a good thing. So then, when that person is not available, it's influencing your process. Okay, but then you can pick it back up and get back on track so that it does not fully affect your progress. But if the person is always tearing you down, here it is, you're trying to do a year to exercise and lose weight, and they're tearing you down, and it's affecting you emotionally to the point that you don't want to go out to the gym. They have now separated you from your goal. They have separated you from that particular goal. and now it's going to affect your long-term progress. So people provoke you to abandon, they do it to abandon you, and they get you to try to abandon whatever it is you're trying to do. And the goal is to get you to abandon your gifts and talents. All right, so thank you very much for listening to this series. Visit, subscribe, and follow so you can find my website, reginawhyfavors.com. I'm on YouTube, of course, youtube.com/ at Regina Y Favors. And then my Amazon author page is amazon.com/author/ Regina Y Favors. So do take some time to think about some of the ideas that I went through in this particular Shake the Dust Off Your Feet series. I don't know if I'm going to have a book component. I'm not quite sure just yet, but it is something that I am considering. So I do hope that you will listen to the full series. I'm going to have it in full as one video length, and then I'm going to have it separate as well. So thank you very much for listening. Please visit, subscribe, and follow. Have a great day.